This program is dedicated to those that paid for their lives at the hands of the state.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Silent Voices, the only program here in America that you, the viewer, can voice your opinion on the child welfare system. I'm Dennis Lawrence, and beside me is Maria Moline. Maria, what do we have up first for our viewing audience?
We're going to get started with a music video. We like to thank Barry White for making this video available to us to show our cable friends at home. Here it is, Barry White's Kidnappers.
Kidnappers. I see nappers. I see nappers. Kidnappers. Kidnappers. San Mateo County. Kidnappers. I see nappers. Child Protective Services don't protect children. They kidnap kids from their parents, making millions. Families devastated, kids segregated. That's how they make their money, keep the kids separated. In a foster home, placed in insanity. Child Protective Services is a crime against humanity. Legal kidnapping violate parental rights. Children around the world being sold as merchandise. San Mateo County, home of the Klan. Keep the child in the system as long as they can. Up in foster homes so they can stay employed. Kids being drugged, raped, and destroyed. CPS social worker lying through her lips. Pretend to protect the child, but she placed them at risk. They cover up the evidence and lie in reports. Hold your child hostage, you're dependent of the court. Child Protective Services, crooked and corrupt. Kidnapping kids and breaking families up. What they doing to our children is insidious. Can somebody come investigate this? Child Protective Services, crooked and corrupt. Kidnapping kids and breaking families up. What they doing to our children is insidious. Can somebody come investigate this idiot? Your child is merchandise, nothing more, nothing less. So they can steal money from the federal government. Attorney for the child, may you burn in hell. What they need to do is place your crooked ass in jail. Claim you represent the child, you the devil in disguise. You the main racketeer to keep the children traumatized. You go against the parents and abuse your position and push for adoption, keep the child in the system. You exploit your children and place them at risk. Separate them from their parents, it's your real intent. And then you paint a picture that foster home is best, but cover up in court the abuse and neglect. You're like a terrorist, causing children trauma. You need to be investigated, you're worse than Osama. The best interest of the child is not your real motivation. The money's in adoption, kidnap, and exploitation. Child Protective Services, crooked and corrupt. Kidnapping kids and breaking families up. What they doing to our children is insidious. Can somebody come investigate the idiots? Child Protective Services, crooked and corrupt. Kidnapping kids and breaking families up. What they doing to our children is insidious. Can somebody come investigate these idiots? Everywhere you look, it's just the same old song. Kids being viciously ripped from their home. Can you imagine the pain unfolding? The pain the parent feels when their child is stolen. They stereotype me and stigmatize me. To separate my child, another form of slavery. Supervising me like I was in prison. A once a week phone call, once a month visit. Attorney for the child, you're a disgrace. The children knew what you was doing, they spit in your face. And in the courtroom, you can't defend yourself as they auction up your child for money and wealth. Their success rate is less than 1%. Children being exploited by a bunch of lunatics. Legal kidnapping, modern day slavery, wanna steal a child. The guy gave to me, Child Protective Services, crooked and corrupt. Kidnapping kids and breaking families up. What they doing to our children is insidious. Can somebody come investigate this idiots? Child Protective Services, crooked and corrupt. Kidnapping kids and breaking families up. What they doing to our children is Yes. Can somebody come investigate these idiots? Child Protective Services, crooked and corrupt, kidnapping kids and breaking families up. What they doing to our children is serious. Can somebody come investigate these idiots? Child Protective Services, crooked and corrupt, kidnapping kids and breaking families up. What they doing to our children is serious. Can somebody come investigate these idiots? Child Protective Services, crooked and corrupt, kidnapping kids and breaking families up. What they doing to our children is serious. Can somebody come investigate these idiots? Child Protective Services, crooked and corrupt, kidnapping kids and breaking families up. What they doing to our children is serious. Can somebody come investigate these idiots? Child Protective Services, crooked and corrupt, kidnapping kids and breaking families up. What they doing to our children is serious. Can somebody come investigate these idiots? Child Protective Services, crooked and corrupt, kidnapping kids and breaking families up. What they doing to our children is serious. Can somebody come?
Thank you, Barry White. The music video pretty much said it like it is. Kidnappers. As I had mentioned in an earlier broadcast, we here at Silent Voices are bringing into our program Google Hangouts to our show so that we can reach and talk with people affected by the system across America. So this is a first for us, Maria.
The Grandparents' Rights Association was established in 2009 in Eastleigh, South Carolina with 5 members. Their director, Mr. John Schafer, had learned that when a child is removed from the home and the parents lose their parental rights, it's automatically terminated the rights of all other family members, including the grandparents. He also saw that South Carolina's grandparents' visitation law was too restrictive. For example, at that time, the law stated that in order to get visitation, you had to prove the parent unfit. These two observations are what birthed his vision for the Grandparents' Rights Association of South Carolina. Since 2009, they have grown to approximately 4,000 members, and 37 other states have come on board with, to join their mission. This rapid growth is what prompted the birth of Grandparents' Rights Association of the United States of America. Grandparents' Rights Association of South Carolina has been successful in supporting bills and helping to get them passed into law. Ladies and gentlemen, the director of Grandparents' Rights Association, Mr. John Schafer. Welcome to the show, John.
So tell me, John, when and where was the Grandparents' Rights Association of South Carolina started?
Okay. The GRA of South Carolina, or Grandparents' Rights Association, was actually started in 2009 in Eastleigh, South Carolina. At that time, we named it the Grandparents' Rights Association of South Carolina.
What prompted the start of this?
Well, I learned that when a child is removed from the home, parents lose their parental rights, and the parents lose their parental rights. It automatically terminates the rights of all other family members, including the grandparents. And I just felt that was just wrong on so many levels.
What else did you learn?
Well, the current visitation law at the time that pertained to grandparents, we did have one at the time, but it was extremely restrictive.
Explain. Too restrictive.
All righty. There were 6 parts to that law, and one of them was that you had to prove the parents were unfit in order to get a visitation. The thing of it is with that is if you're proving the parents unfit, that's not really a visitation case. That's more like a custody case. So those observations is what birthed my vision for the Grandparents' Rights Association of South Carolina.
What has happened since 2009?
Well, in 2009, we started off with 4 people in my living room. And since then, we've grown to almost 4,000 members and in 38 other states. So a total of 39 states now. They've all come on board to join our mission, and this prompted the formation of the Grandparents' Rights Association of the United States of America.
And what exactly is the GRA mission statement?
Okay, the Grandparents' Rights Association of the USA supports the preservation of the complete family. We believe for the well-being of the children, whenever possible, the complete family should be allowed to remain together. Therefore, we stand for family rights in total.
So, John, what exactly changed in 2010?
Well, that year, a bill was introduced and signed into law by Governor Schafer. It was an amendment to the current grandparent visitation law at the time, and it relaxed that one part of the law that said we had to prove that parent unfit. That part is still in the law, but it's no longer one of the absolutes that we must prove in order to seek visitation. Now it's in where before it was one of those and things, now it's an or thing. So it's either prove them unfit or take another route.
Then what happened in 2013?
Okay, in 2013, we introduced still another bill that was H 3464 in the South Carolina legislature, and that passed both the House and the Senate with unanimous votes. Governor Haley signed the new law giving grandparents standing in the family court. Now a grandparent can be added to a case involving custody actions with their grandchildren. This only applies when parental rights are in jeopardy, and so it includes DSS cases.
Now, John, I want to remind our viewers at home that this is South Carolina law. This law that you got passed in South Carolina, I think would be good to be passed in every state in the nation. I, as a grandparent, know that it was very hard for a grandparent or any relative to get standing room in court for their grandchildren. And this is, I think, one of the biggest concerns. Do you find that as one of the biggest problems across America for grandparents? And does this apply to blood relatives?
Yes, actually, that is a big problem. In a lot of states, especially the ones with the very weak grandparents' rights laws, it's very difficult because in those kind of cases, the family court usually tells the grandparents, well, you have no standing here, so you just sit in the hall and we'll let you know what happens when we get done. What we've done here is specifically named grandparents, and as part of the answer to your second part of the question there, relatives of the first or second degree, which would include grandparents, great-grandparents, aunts, uncles, and any brothers or sisters that are over 18. All those people can now ask to be made a party to the case. And when they're made a party to the case, that gives them standing in the court. What we'd like to see is for that to happen in all 50 states.
Can you tell me about the current bill H 4348?
Okay, H 4348, actually has now gone through the full legislative process. It was introduced this year in 2014, and it also passed both the House and the Senate with unanimous votes. This bill removes the part in the grandparent visitation law passed back in 2010 that stated the grandparent had to have maintained a relationship similar to the parent with the child. In other words, a parent-child type relationship. Before, it stated we had to prove we had a parental type bond with the child, where now we don't. So H4348 removed that requirement, which also removed a contradiction within the law.
And what other things would the GRA USA like to see changed?
Okay. Well, one of our next goals is to get the 90-day rule that's part of the 2010 visitation law reduced to 30 days. The reason for that is right now you can't even file an action for visitation until it's been 90 days that you've been denied contact with the child. But since it can take up to a year after you file to get into the courtroom, we'd like to see that time reduced. If it's 30 days, then there's that much less time that the child spends without being able to contact or see his grandparents.
What are the positive effects grandparents have on their grandchildren?
Well, the family has always been an important part of our society, and grandparents have always been an important part of the family unit. Grandparents contribute a great deal to their grandchildren. We provide direct caregiving. We're the family historians. We're a mentor. We transmit family values and traditions, and we're a buffer between the parent and the child. You know, if parents and children have a disagreement, well, you know, children almost always will go somewhere and to talk about it to somebody, and the grandparents are a natural place to go. And good grandparents will listen to the child and help them through the rough time, but still support the parents. And studies prove that all of this has a positive effect on the child development. A fellow named Donald Norberg once said, "Surely two of the most satisfying experiences in life must be those of being a grandchild or a grandparent."
What are some of the signs of alienation from the grandparents?
It's a lot like parental alienation. The two are very similar. Withholding communication with the grandchild in the form of visits, phone calls, emails, letters, keeping you from or limiting your ability to talk or visit with your grandchild. You're not included on holidays, birthdays, or other functions such as school functions, and putting you down in front of the grandchild. It seems as if the parent that's doing the alienating does not want you to show your grandchild that you are of any value or worth.
What is the goal of the Grandparents' Rights Association USA?
Okay, the ultimate goal of Grandparents' Rights Association of the USA is to continue to propose legislation to protect the rights of children and their extended families in every American state. And we want this to be something that happens in all 50 states. So, that's the reason why we have individual state chapters.
So how can we contact GRA? Do you have a website, email, phone number?
The Grandparents' Rights Association of the United States can be contacted on Facebook or on the web, and we also have a phone number. That phone number is on the website. The national page, all you have to do is a Facebook search for Grandparents' Rights Association of the USA, and it'll pop right up there. To find out if you have an individual chapter in your state, the easiest way is to go to the GRA USA website, and the web address is www.grausa.org. And then all you have to do is you'll find a navigation bar at the top, and if you click on Member States, another page will come up, and it'll show you all 50 states. And the ones who actually have chapters will have a link directly to that chapter's Facebook page. The phone number for GRA USA is 864-855-3860, and that number is also on the website. So we try to stay out there as best we can and be as available as we can. The phone number is not available 24/7. We don't have that kind of staff. But if you don't get an answer, just leave a message and I'll get back to you.
I'd like to thank John Schafer for being our guest on today's program. Certainly grandparents out there get involved with this. In your state, you can contact John at GRA. He has many bills on the docket to help grandparents and keep their kids out of non-relative foster homes. So, you need to contact, you need to get involved. You want things changed, get involved, get off Facebook and get things changed.
Well, hey, thank you very much, Dennis. We really appreciate you inviting us to the show, and again, thank you for having us on. It's a great thing you're doing up there, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
And if you like to be a guest on the program via Skype or Google Hangouts, all you need to do is contact us at our email address coming right up. Thank you, John, for being our guest today.
If you would like to be a guest on Silent Voices, contact us at miparentalrights@gmail.com. That's miparentalrights@gmail.com.
And we'll be back after these messages.
No longer victims but survivors. Rise up, survivors, be silent no more. All who abuse and all corrupt who take their side. All surviving victims now declaring war. Silent voices no more. We will not be ignored. We are here to settle the score. Silent voices no more. As long as children are battered, as long as justice is for sale, until corruption is dismantled, our warriors will never bail. Silent voices no more. We will not be ignored. We are here to settle the score. Silent voices no more. Silent voices no more.
protecting the rights of parents is shattering families.
The current system is actually broken and doesn't protect parents' rights.
Parents should raise their children, not the government.
Why is the state telling me how to raise my children? That's broken.
When parents don't really have rights, it fragments the family.
What's left is that families are the ones that will have to pick up the pieces.
America needs the Parental Rights Amendment.
I want to thank you for joining us today.
You can catch us next week, same time, same channel.
Until next week, my friends, remember, your voice can make the difference.